I
I
have
don't
a
know
question
if
for you today.
yes.
I was gonna
Question.
ask you, have you ever felt stuck?
Yeah. I've been, I guess, stuck a couple times. I mean, give me a little bit more clarity on the question. What you mean?
You know you're not happy, yet you continue to be stuck in the same loop. In my time of talking to random people, I learned one universal truth. People are scared to try because the fear of failure seems like an unsurpassable feat. With me being a victim of this fear, I can tell you in confidence that failing is the hardest thing you can experience. But only then does change foster.
What's your name?
You want me to look in there?
Huh? No, it
Look
doesn't
at you?
matter. I
Okay.
usually look at
You're
the
gonna be in
person
it.
I'm talking to.
Hi,
Yeah.
my name is Shauna.
Shauna,
Hi.
Adrian. Nice
Hi,
to meet
nice to
you.
meet you, Adrian.
It's so nice to
Yes.
meet you. You're so bubbly and so cool.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, of
I've been told
course.
I'm effervescent.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have
don't
a
know if
question for you today.
Yes.
I was gonna
Question.
ask you, have you ever felt stuck?
Yes.
Do you feel stuck right now?
I think I've gotten out of being stuck recently.
Could you
Yeah.
talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So like, sometimes you can be stuck in work, right? Sometimes you can be stuck in environment. Sometimes you can just feel stagnant as a human. Sometimes, you can feel like life's not moving, right? And I think I've lived a long life. And what I've discovered, at least in the last 3 years, is that the only one who's going to pull you out of being stuck is you. And some people get pulled out by faith. Some people get pulled out by a life change. For me, it was, trying to eat healthier, drink water,
okay.
moisturize more, increase longevity. I quit drinking. That was a big one. So I think changing kind of your environment, what you put in your body, and that includes screen time.
Oh,
As
that's controversial
we're
right
all,
now.
yeah, we're all stuck to our phones. But I think the only one who's going to take care of you is you. Like, yeah, you might have family, you might have a spouse or a partner that like takes care of you. But I think really, truly, the only one who's going to take care of you is you.
It's like the classic trope of nobody will truly understand you, you know?
That is always the classic trope. Yeah. No one will understand you but you.
Yeah, of
But
course.
some people don't understand themselves, and that's where the problem is.
Ooh, that's hard. That's a hard question to answer. I feel like sometimes people are in their own existential crisis at all times, trying to
Yeah.
figure out like, who am I? You
Who
know?
am I? But also, if they're not satisfied, they themselves are the last one that they blame.
Is
It
that
starts
like
in here. They want to blame it on everybody else, right? They want to find out who else to blame.
is it
besides
like some
themselves.
pride, narcissism, you think?
I mean, I think people. Can I curse?
Of course. You could do whatever you want.
I think people think their own shit don't stink for the most part. I
Okay.
think that's yeah. And the fact of the matter is, everyone's shit stinks.
Wow. It's like shit happens.
Yeah, you just have to be willing to flush it
Wow.
and say
That's-
goodbye to it and not hold on to it.
That's a great like way to describe it.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I was gonna say, like, I personally have been feeling very stuck recently, and that's one of the changes that I've been making as well. Like, trying to be more healthy. I
That's
felt
a big
like
one.
it's like healthy body kind of leads to like a healthier lifestyle in general, and
I would agree.
that's something I've been trying to lead forward. And especially like with my work, my content, I've been feeling stuck as well, just creatively.
Yeah.
I think I've just been burnt out because of work, because of my environment. I'm originally from Houston, so
Oh.
coming here to Austin, like it's a smaller city. A lot of things are more condensed.
It is
I don't
true.
know. Sometimes
Houston's very
I
spread out.
feel like kind of congested in a sense. You
Yeah,
know?
for sure. Like you're living on top of each other.
Yeah.
I lived in New York for 20 years, so I know all about condensed and packed in. Yeah. I lived
Yeah.
in New York City during the pandemic. So, yeah.
That's pretty crazy. How was it over there during that time?
It was a wild time. I saw things I never thought I would see. I mean, everything you saw in the news, the refrigerator trucks on the street, like for the bodies.
I hear a lot of things about New York. Is it like
I love New York.
you love New York?
Yeah, I've had the longest,
Why
that's
are
where I've
you
lived the
here?
longest. But it's a love-hate relationship.
Okay.
New York is like a partner you can't get rid of, and it exists and lives in your heart all the time. So
It's like first love, almost.
it is kind of like first love, for sure.
Ooh, wait, why are you here?
Yeah. I am here actually speaking at a conference.
Wow. Okay.
And here to see my sister for her birthday. Yeah.
Wow.
So kind of added bonus.
That's
I don't know if
great.
that's her right there.
Is that her?
But as far as being stuck, keep with it.
I appreciate
Keep with it.
Yeah.
The more that you change mentally and physically in your life, the better you'll live. Nobody believes how old I am. You can
Really?
guess if you want. I know a woman should never ask you
Okay.
your age, right?
Let me say, I'm gonna base my answer based off you say nobody guesses. So I'm gonna guess 52.
52. Do I look 52?
I just said something outrageous because you told me you were
I mean,
nobody
it's not
guesses.
that outrageous.
Okay. Let me be more realistic because you look very young. I'll say you look very young.
appreciate that.
If I had to guess, I would think that you're in your early 30s.
I appreciate that. Yeah,
But-
yeah.
Based off what you told me, I'm going to guess 43.
Okay, you're closer.
Okay.
I'm gonna be 48.
Okay.
So, yeah.
How do you feel about that? Is that a
I
little
mean,
scary?
Like I said, it is a little scary, but the last 5 years and making those changes in my life, yeah, I feel like a new person. I think the secret to life for women, don't get pregnant, don't drink alcohol, and moisturize.
Okay. I think that's
Yeah.
pretty interesting.
Then you'll live forever. Yeah.
Why no kids?
Oh no, not for me. I'm the
Not for
oldest of
you?
9.
Oh, okay.
Total.
That
Six in one
traumatized you?
family. Oh yeah, it wasn't for me.
I
I knew
gotcha.
early on.
My mom was a lot older when she had me. She was 40.
Okay.
So I kind of got the only child, even though I had siblings. So it's a little interesting. For me, it's the complete opposite. I always kind of wanted a family because I had none.
Ah,
That
got
makes
you.
sense.
Yeah,
So I can
I can see that.
understand where you're coming from.
I was an
for
only
sure.
child till I was 8. So I got good mom one-on-one time.
Okay.
And then all the other ones came after that. So
Where do you work, or why are you here for the conference?
I can't disclose that information. It's top
Oh,
secret.
Okay, yeah, you're all good.
You
Don't
know,
worry about
since
it.
it's a paid event. That's fine. Yeah.
That's
But,
pretty cool.
Yeah. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah.
I'll shake your hand
Yes.
or whatever.
For sure.
I think people forget that being stuck isn't necessarily a bad thing. Maybe it's a moment of reflection for you to process the things that have been going on in your life. Maybe it's a moment for you to think and wonder how to progress on a new project or a goal of yours. For me, that moment of reflection was actually just this video. I've been wondering about how I should proceed, how should I continue to grow with my content, feeling stagnant at times. And I feel like I found it, at least a route that I can take. So being stuck isn't a bad thing. What matters is that you're willing to grow and change.
What's your name again?
Saudi, bro.
Adrian. Nice to
Adrian,
meet you,
yeah,
bro.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. You can hear me?
Yeah, I got you, bro.
Okay.
I was gonna ask you, have you ever felt stuck before?
Yeah. I've been, I guess, stuck a couple times. I mean, give me a little bit more clarity on the question. What you mean?
I guess like recently. Not necessarily a specific topic, but has there been a moment where you felt stuck recently?
I wouldn't say recently, but I can go back to like 2014, 2015. I probably felt stuck at that time. For
How
sure.
come?
I mean, at that time I was in between schools, making bad decisions, and just felt like I wasn't the person that I was supposed to be. You know what I mean? I felt like I had some type of promise and I just wasn't meeting those goals. And not meeting my full potential. So just had to kind of change what I was doing on a daily and lock in a little bit.
Do you feel like in the past 10 years you've elevated?
Definitely. I'd say definitely.
How so?
I mean, shit, just being out here in Austin. I mean, well, it's my second time in Austin, Texas, but the only reason why I'm out here is because of work. So, like, I was able to kind of lock in, get out of that feeling that I had, get out of that stuck feeling. There was some specific goals that I had at the time. I was a football player at the time still, so, like, trying to get back onto the team and, really show that, I was supposed to be there. And, the mistakes that I made weren't defining who I was, right? I can get over those. So,
I feel that.
yeah, that was
that
it.
like your dream initially? The
Yeah.
football?
Yeah. That was the only reason why I kind of went to secondary school in the first place was, opportunity to play. So,
And what happened with
I played. I went. So my first stint in school, I wasn't going to class. You know what I mean? Like if I'm being
Nah, I
completely
low-key
honest.
feel you.
Yeah,
I
I wasn't
feel
going
you.
to class, and that
You
kinda,
had one goal in mind.
yeah,
You were
I
like,
was, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get on the field. I would go to all my weights. I would go to the study hall or whatever, but I wouldn't go to class. I was cool at passing tests, so like I always felt like I was okay, but like at the end of the day, part of our grade was attendance at the school I was going to, so it really affected me at the end, and took me off the field. It took me off the field, got kicked off the team, and ended up just leaving that program. But started working, you know, regular day-to-day jobs, working at warehouses and shit, lifting heavy shit all day, stacking pallets and shit like that, wrapping them up. And every day I'd be like, bro, I'm not even supposed to be here right now. I'm supposed to be in somebody's classroom. I'm supposed to be on the field or something, and just grinding to get that back. That was kind of what helped me get out of that stuck feeling. It's like, okay, I could see where my life would be if I just kind of live in this moment right
and
here.
lock in.
You know what I mean? But like, I don't want to be here. You feel me? I'm not trying to be, I'm no knock to any of my guys that's, you know what I'm saying, doing that. Feel me? But that's not where I wanted to be when I was a little older. I didn't want to be using my body to provide for me or my family. So yeah, decided to, you know, kind of lock back in, get back into school, get back onto a team, and do what I had to do. So it was cool.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like sometimes, like I'm never trying to throw no shade to anybody that like works traditional jobs or anything, because those people are needed. You know, it's just like for my life, with the way that I envision it, it's just like I never saw myself being there. You know, and that's like why I wanted to kind of think bigger, be like, how could I apply myself? How could I, just like you're saying, like how could I utilize my potential? People told me my entire life, you have so much potential, you're so intelligent, and then there was moments where I felt like I faltered, and then I was like, damn, like, so if my potential is not being used, then I'm just potential. Nothing is being created. Nothing is.
Keep it real, bro. I hate that word, potential, because what is that?
Exactly.
That just means you didn't achieve. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, for
potential is
sure.
something that's like, oh, it's there. Like, oh shit. If they keep using the word for like potential for you, it means that you didn't get to where they thought you would be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I hate that term now, but I had to grow to that.
You know what's funny? My dad, he always likes to say this joke that his coworker told him, which is like almost doesn't count,
Yeah.
and that's really it.
Yeah, it doesn't.
And
Or
it's
shoes
like,
and hand grenades, right? I don't play none of those.
so where are you at now?
I'm good. I mean, shit, working full time. I finished my degree. I remember playing my last game. You know what I mean? The
Congratulations.
Feeling that, yeah. I remember the feeling that I had. One of the questions I had from my roommate afterwards, we're standing in front of the training room. He was like, "Bro, Sadi, how you feel?" I think he was like 2 years younger than me at the time. He's a sophomore. He's like, "Yeah, how you feel? Like, you just played your last game." I'm like, "Bro, like, if I don't play another one, bro, like, I'm good. Like, I'm good." Like, I felt a feeling of content. Like,
You did what you had to do.
I did what I was supposed to do, and it like kind of matched up. So my last season ended in November, and I got my degree in December, a couple weeks later. So like, I was done with school right when I was done with that. So everything kind of aligned for me when I, you know, kind of locked in. So it was a good feeling at the end. It was a great feeling at the end. Now I'm
That's
able
amazing,
to
bro.
kind of work. I have a lot of flexibility. Work from home a couple days of the week, more than I should. But I mean, you know what I mean? I get to work from home. I go to the office sometimes.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of freedom in my life. I'm able to coach football.
That's great.
Give back to my community.
Still
a little
working
bit.
on it.
Yeah. So like, still get to be around my passion, but you know, have a more comfortable life than I would have had before. Don't got to use my body on a daily basis to,
That's wonderful,
to make
bro.
some money.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
got
I mean?
you.
So I mean, I'm not where I want to be for sure. Like, you know what I mean? There's always that next.
That was my next question. I was
step.
gonna ask you about future.
Yeah, there's always that next step to go to. So, you know what I mean? You can't get complacent out here. And I guess that's what the problem is. That's where people fall into, God damn, man, he has so much potential. They got complacent. You know what I mean? If you don't get complacent and you're always trying to get to that next step, then can't nobody say you didn't reach your potential. I'm still climbing. Like, what are you gonna say? Like, what do you mean I didn't reach my potential? I'm still going up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I feel like there's a little duality to it. Like, I feel like you should never get complacent, but at some point, you know, you want more and more and more and more. You never let yourself rest. And I feel that in like every single way. I feel like sometimes I apply myself and I get burnt out in a sense. So it's just like, it's learning the balance, but it's so difficult, you know?
yeah. Real quick, you like first generation? What's your background?
Yeah, so my parents, my mom is Colombian, my dad is Salvadorian.
Okay.
So I'm first gen, but my mom had me at 40.
Okay.
So I got two older siblings. They're a
Uh-huh.
lot older than me though.
Yeah.
So thinking like 27, 31.
Okay.
So I'm the little baby boy.
Yeah.
Came out here to Austin to pursue school, and I feel like in my studies, I felt like almost uninterested in a sense.
Okay.
I always told myself that I wanted to be a business owner. I wanted to work for myself, but I wasn't doing anything to achieve that.
Uh-huh.
And I came to this realization when I came to college. I told myself like, what am I doing here almost? And that's why I started recording. I picked up the camera. I was like, well, like if I'm gonna be doing this, or I always had these dreams, why don't I start? I found through just talking to a lot of people and through my own consensus that the hardest part is just starting. A lot of people are scared to start. And today, I even went to a career fair today, and one of the things that people were telling me was that they love the safety of working a job and being able to make sure that they got a paycheck and stuff like that. And I was like, I understand that, but at some point, I'm gonna want to elevate higher than that job
Yeah.
can get me.
Yeah.
And I can only do that if I suffer now and try to make something of it before it becomes like a true issue for me, you know? So that's
Yeah.
why I've been putting a bigger emphasis on trying to do it while I have time instead of trying to do it whenever, you know, maybe I got other things to worry about, like AK, like full-time job, a family,
Yeah.
you know, things like that. So that's why I'm trying to really work towards my dream right now. So suffer now, then rest later.
Yeah, no, definitely. Building something of your own is probably the best thing that you can do out here, bro. For
That
sure.
was-
But the main reason why I asked you that question, similar, like I come from an immigrant family and shit, so like I always saw my parents, you know what I'm saying, working super, super, super hard.
Ooh,
So like
definitely.
anytime that I felt like, oh shit, I'm getting burnt out, oh shit, I'm getting a little bit tired, oh shit, da da da. I'm like, damn, bro, I remember when I was a kid, like I used to wait up so my dad can come home and I could just say him before I go to sleep, you know what I mean? But that's because he was working 2-3 jobs, you know what I mean? So like, I could never get tired. Even now, like, I'll be at work, a lot of my coworkers, they'll be like, oh yeah, man, da da da, this is, like they're burnt out or whatever. I'm like, bro, what do you mean? Like, you're sitting at a desk.
Yeah, I think when I say burnt out, it's more so like sometimes I think it's like a lot of different ideas that I be thinking about.
Yeah.
You know, so I've been feeling a lot of creative burnout
Okay.
recently. You know, there's a lot of different dreams and aspirations I have, but it's like, okay, how do I apply them with the resources that I currently have? You know, because I do agree with you. You know, I'm definitely not tired. I could be restless.
Yeah.
You know, and I see that in my family. I've seen that in my parents. Like they've worked so hard to get there to that point. So it's more so just like, how can I set myself up for success? You know?
Yeah, no, I got
Yeah,
you.
that's really it.
I got you. And I mean, that's what we're all trying to do out here, right? Trying to find that way. But I mean, I guess there's no like one right answer for anybody
Definitely
for
not.
how to set myself up for success. Because one, what does success look like to you versus what success looks like
Of
to me?
course,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like that's what we got to find out in the first place. So yeah, I mean, everybody wants to know how they can set them up for success, but first you got to find out like
What success
what
looks
the
like
ideal
to you.
success looks like for you and yours. You know what I mean? So before we even find out how it's what it looks like.
For
You know what I
sure.
mean?
Yeah, I get you. Well, it's so nice to talk to you, bro. You got some great stuff to say.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
bro.